Ciao guys, welcome to my modern Mediterranean summer series. Back in April, I brought home lemons from my aunt's tree in Rome. My grandma doesn't think her lemons are as good as my aunt's because my aunt lives out in the country versus my grandma lives in the city, so like she thinks the air isn't as clean where she is. I really wanted to make a whole series of different lemon recipes. I was gonna use these Italian lemons. Look how big they are and juicy and fabulous. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the whole lemon series, but I at least wanna feature lemons twice today. It is 2:30 right now. I'm hosting dinner tonight for some guests at 6 o'clock. I have always dreamed to be a hostess. Just hosting friends, so it's gonna be casual, it's gonna be simple, but I also just want to start challenging myself to do things I've always told myself I've wanted to do, no matter how bad I am at it, no matter how beginner I am at it, no matter how bad it turns out the first time. I'm just trying to do better at doing the things I've always told myself I've wanted to do. This entire dinner party concept started with the idea that I wanted to use seasonal strawberries one last time for a lobster cake, which AKA just means decorating the top of the cake with strawberries shaped like lobster. So I knew I was gonna make a cake. What cake? A lemon olive oil cake. I have the best olive oil cake, I promise you. And then I was like, okay, well I have a whole lemon that I don't wanna waste, that I need to juice. So I'm probably gonna make a salad dressing with it. I'm gonna show you guys my simplest go-to salad dressing. I need to get better at showing you guys the really, really simple stuff I do. I just feel like that'll be too boring. So I'm gonna make a very seasonal salad today. At the start of the show, I decided to be Ricotta Cavatelli. This is one of the easiest fail-proof way to make homemade pasta with my another super simple, my go-to tomato sauce. It's what I prefer so much more than any like ragu tomato sauce or canned tomato sauce. It's what my nonna has been making for years. It's how I've always loved to make tomato sauce. I tried to create a menu that used all the ingredients up in different ways and variations. Before we get started, I'm gonna take my little belt off and put on an apron. I have so many stains on so many outfits I used to wear in all my recipe videos. So I'm not gonna do it. This is my mama's from the 90s. I don't know where she got it from. I've gotten a couple questions about it, but I don't think there's a more perfect apron to exist until MML makes an apron. So to make this olive oil cake, I like to use a coarse sugar. I always use cane sugar. I'm gonna add the lemon zest. And what I'm gonna do is massage all this lemon into the sugar. Because sugar is these little tiny crystals, they have really sharp edges to them. Those edges are going to kind of cut up the zest, and it helps the zest release its oil and fragrance and everything like that. I'm really obsessed with lemon. I don't know if you know, I have an entire brand off of the word zestful. Even though this is a nice organic lemon grown in a big commercial amount, which is fine, it is what it is. We live in a modern world, but you can see the color difference. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in there with our fingers and go to town like this and just spend a minute smelling how incredible this smells and just massage using all those crystals to really get in there. You wanna keep going until the sugar turns almost light yellow, and then the sugar also feels kind of like wet sand. The longer you do it, the more delicious and fragrant your cake is gonna be. Have the stunning lemon sugar ready to go for the cake. I also reserved about 2 teaspoons, added in extra 2 teaspoons, but I should have just started out with adding in more, if that makes sense. I reserved that though, because that's how I'm going to macerate the strawberries later on, and now this cake couldn't be easier. I'm bringing out my ugly scale. I need to get a new scale. If you guys have any recommendations for an aesthetic scale, like a white, pretty scale, it's just so convenient to have a scale because I just don't have to use measuring cups. The really nice thing about this cake, it's just such a nonna cake, and I say that because you don't need anything fancy. Put everything into a bowl, you stir it, and then put it into a greased 9-inch cake tin. I have room temp eggs going in. It's really helpful if they're room temp. It's not the end of the world if they're not. Next, we're gonna go in with half a cup of whole milk ricotta. Can I be annoying? Can I do the Giada thing? Ricotta. Let me try to say it without an accent. Ricotta. Ooh, that sounds bad. Okay, so that's all the liquid ingredients. For dry ingredients, 1/4 cup of flour is 30 grams, so I need 120 grams. You can sift the dry ingredients if you wanted to. So 1/4 cup is 28. So times 2, come on Caroline, is gonna be 56. So you could make this gluten-free if you wanted to use gluten-free all-purpose flour. The reason why I love almond flour in this cake is it adds a crumb. I love the chewiness of this cake. It's requested by everybody. I hope one day I'm famous for my olive oil cake. And then we need some kosher salt. I'm gonna do 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon, whatever that was. Okay, you wanna do a quick little stir of the dry ingredients on the top before you start folding them in. I'm honestly gonna go back in with the fork. I started with the spatula. We don't need the spatula yet. I wanna use the fork because I wanna be able to break up the clumps of flour, and you don't wanna overmix. It looks pretty seamless, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a spatula just so I can get on the bottom. I have the delicious lemon olive oil cake batter. I'm going to go ahead and grab my cake pan. So I have beef with this because you guys know I'm an avocado oil girly. We are a fan of avocado oil in this house, but this spray, someone needs to tell Chosen Foods, your spray sucks. Like, that's not a mist. It comes out and like shoots it out. And so I always have to go in and like smear it. Like, what's the point of a spray if I always have to go in and kind of fix how the spray went on? Does that make any sense? I'm starting to talk quickly because I'm pretty nervous about the timestamp so far today. Washing my hands, this is why I can't wear rings while I'm cooking. I don't know how people even wear jewelry. I shouldn't even be wearing my bracelets right now. Most of the time I'll take the cake pan, line it with a pencil on like the outside to make the perfect round to cut out of parchment, because you only need to line the bottom with parchment. But today I'm just gonna fold this in half and wing it. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this deliciousness into the cake tin. Sorry, I'm running the faucet on the cake bowl. If you're tempted to try the batter, be warned that the olive oil is extremely pungent. It's not gonna taste good. As it bakes, somehow that olive oil flavor goes down and you just are left with the chewy, delicious texture and lemony goodness. Into the oven it goes. I need to do a 30-second cleanup and we're gonna make some pasta dough. So I take major pride in always, like I said in the beginning of the video, getting to use up everything. The first idea was the olive oil cake. Used 1/2 cup of ricotta. So my favorite, most common grocery store ricotta that you can find comes in 16 ounces. So that means 12 ounces were left over, which was the perfect amount to make this cavatelli. So I'm using the ricotta all up in one night. And so to a bowl, I'm just gonna add the ricotta, all 12 ounces of it. And then I'm just gonna take 2 whole eggs, give that a little whisk until it's fully combined. This just makes it so much easier when you're going to actually make the dough. It's really nice to already have the egg already incorporated as opposed to starting with just cracking the yolks in your well of flour. For me, that's always really stressful because then trying to whisk the yolks in the well of flour and then the well breaks and then it just becomes a mess. So I have the just ricotta and eggs whipped together. Could use like a really fun grain flour like spelt or some really nice high quality flour. I always use 00. I always have it on hand. I love it. Super similar to all-purpose. I need 180 grams of flour on my work surface. To start, pasta dough is all by feel. This is where you just gotta use your hands and not be afraid to make a little bit of a floury mess. So you always just wanna have a clean surface, a cool surface to work on. It shouldn't be too hot when you're making a recipe like this because you just don't want the dough getting too warm. I would say that harder than making pasta is cleaning up pasta. I would think that's literally the hardest part about making pasta is the cleanup. For the 12 ounces of ricotta to 2 eggs, you need about 3 cups of flour with plenty left over because every day is different, every dough is different. The humidity is so high today. I truly do think that plays into how wet the dough was today. So now I'm gonna put the pasta dough in the fridge for an hour. Check in. Hostess stress is starting to build. I prepped all the corn. I did 3 kernels. I'm only gonna do like a kernel and a half of corn tonight, an ear and a half. An ear and a half, a kernel is a singular guy. I'm gonna do an ear and a half of corn tonight, and then I'm bringing this same salad tomorrow to my Father's Day family dinner. I'll save that other half for that. I pitted about, I don't know, is this a cup? Half a cup of my cherries. That cost me $700, kidding. I did a rough chop off camera of pistachios. I know I'm so boring, I use pistachios in every salad. Name a better nut, maybe roasted almonds, but even that is just Not as good as pistachios. I have everything for the salad ready except I need to do the lettuce and the salad dressing. Moving on to the pasta sauce because I want to get that going. I prepped the base ingredients of it, which is a massive garlic clove. Some people would thinly slice this or mince it. The way that my nonna always does it is she takes a whole clove, throws it into the warm olive oil, and lets it infuse and then pulls it out later. I also don't like overpowering onion flavor either. Again, just my preferences. So I went in with some shallots. I like the mild oniony flavor. And so I'm adding in that garlic and shallots into the pot right now of that heated up olive oil. And that kind of frying is really gonna infuse that oil with so much flavor because this is an oil-based pasta sauce. 90% of pasta in Italy is really oil-based. They're super light and usually vegetable heavy pasta sauces because you want to taste all the ingredients in it. I'm gonna add in the tomatoes because I can already see the shallots and the garlic getting fragrant and let them just really, really low and slow do their thing. It's showtime. I have 10 minutes until they get here. So much has happened. I poured myself some seahorse wine. That's what I call it. I have my mascarpone whipped cream delight. Everything's turned out absolutely amazing. It took me a hot minute to remember how to do the cavatelli with a knife. I think that's good. Should I stop there? Is that pretty? Okay, we're gonna start with the head. One antenna, second antenna, the body. I'm gonna fan out the little tail. It's looking like a bug, but we're getting there. Claw, claw, little arm, little arm. We're not symmetrical as humans, so why does the cake need to be symmetrical? That's as good as it's gonna get. I gotta take some pictures. I have the cake done. Let me read you what I have to do left. Chop up that lettuce and add it to the bowl, and then put all the toppings on the bowl and call that salad a salad. I need to macerate some strawberries. So I'm gonna cut up some strawberries, add the little lemon sugar. It's gonna be delicious with those two together. And then I'm gonna add the shrimp to the pasta sauce and let it simmer in the pasta sauce and cook while the pasta's cooking. And then add the pasta water, a little bit of Parmesan. Being Italian, having an Italian family, I know that the rules are strict. And it's for a good reason because you don't want too much culture to change. And so I'm breaking a lot of rules today, making the homemade cavatelli, ricotta cavatelli with shrimp, but I don't care. It's what sounded summery, delicious, easy protein to cook with pasta. I'm gonna backtrack here, talk about that salad. I always add herbs into my salads because I just think it's a game changer to have so much more flavor in your salads, make them more satisfying, interesting. Talk about nutrients and basil. So I'm gonna add basil to the pasta and the salad. So basically I'm gonna clean up. They're gonna be here any second. I need to take some pictures of the cake and start assembling everything. We're gonna make the most of it. Ciao guys, it's the next day. I hate doing this. I rushed so much filming last night and I have to rush right now. Let's talk about the pasta. I don't think I really showed you a lot of the cooking of the pasta. You add the pasta into the salted boiling water like normal. You know they're done and ready when they're floating and all at the top of the water, which I see them all doing right now. And I made a quick gremolata pasta salad sauce. I really love this. It's a really easy fridge clean out of just like use your herbs, and I used a little tiny bit of Parmesan and kind of used it all up. And what I love about this really quick, fresh summer pasta sauce. It's kind of like a really rustic, chunky pesto in a way, but I use parsley, basil, lemon juice, olive oil, and this would even be great as like a pasta salad hack as well, so you could eat this room temperature. And so this is another way that I wanted to plate up this pasta today. Absolutely stunning. I put little pansies on it. Did you know pansies are edible flowers? Okay, so we're gonna do a little taste test. I already know it's incredible, and I'm going over to eat right now at my brother's for Father's Day. So we're just gonna do one little bite. Ciao guys, I am so horrible at remembering to film outros. I just wanted to show you guys a variation using all of the rest of that Cavatelli. Basically, I made that pasta and then I had to rush to a family cookout, which was so much fun. I made the salad that I made the day before for the family cookout. I did add feta though, because I thought it would be a really nice touch to add like a salty cheese to it, fresh cheese. So I did add cheese to the salad. It was absolutely amazing. I also made I pulled from the freezer a chocolate olive oil cake. So I did that with some more of my leftover mascarpone whipped mascarpone, and then I added some macerated strawberries on top of that. So much variation, so much deliciousness. It was a wonderful foodie weekend. I'm glad I captured it. I'm sorry I didn't do great explaining all of it. Happy modern Mediterranean summer. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you create a very zestful day. Ciao.